What's good with y'all? New JJK chapter, so y'all already know what time it is. Let's get this reaction going. I'm actually excited for this chapter because Takaba is fighting Kenjaku, and I'm just curious to say the least. So we just gonna hop right into it, see what's going on. That's a nice color piece, actually. That's a cool one I'm looking at. Chapter name, where is it actually? Oh, there it is. Idiot Survivor, Live On. Okay, so not with Takaba, this angel talking. It would be wise to ambush Kenjaku before Gojo Satoru battles with the fallen ends. She talking to everybody, to Okashibo, Mei Mei, Akari. Even if we prevail against the fallen, it will be meaningless if Kenjaku achieves his goals of assimilating everyone in Japan with Tengen. Based on these rules, Kenjaku added, purging all the players and ending the culling game is a condition for the assimilation. Yeah. Then what's to worry about? Akari and I are both players, which means Kenjaku can't complete his goals while we're fighting Sukuna. And if a win against Sukuna results in our whole team being wiped out, guess I should probably read the room and keep my mouth shut here. Miwa and the others aren't going to join the front lines even if they are players, so there's no point in bringing the mood down. What if Gojo loses and Kenjaku ambushes us? I guess that would be a bit much while we have our hands full with Sukuna. Even with no ambush, if Gojo fails and we achieve a narrow victory against the fallen, we be on death's door having to fight Kenjaku. You mean there's a chance they'll do to us what they're trying to do to Sukuna? I say Zening's our best shot if we want to send our man on a little surprise visit to Kenjaku. But it makes no sense to split our forces before fighting Sukuna. Even if we do, we can't just spin any old slump of an assassin. I'd say I'm not even up to the task as a grade 1. Perhaps the titles of grade 1 is what's not up to the task. You're so damn picky. Seeing as I've already turned tail and run before I'm out of the question. Angel literally said, I recommend sending Takaba. That guy, we can barely understand what comes out his mouth. The only thing I remember that guy is when his dick flopped out his pants. What I'm about to say could have a negative impact on his curse technique, so I ask you not to tell anyone, even Takaba himself. His technique, he's completely... Look at this goofy dude. This doesn't hurt because I'm a cartoon. Ouch, ouch. Negating my technique, you flubbed that line a tad. Listen here, mother boy. Even a kid could beat you and I'll prove it. Could his curse technique be the imagination? That is not imagination. Emanation of phenomena. Huh? He got a bandana on. It's an embodiment and is an enforcement of his imagination. If I'm not careful, my 1,000 years of Jujutsu know-how proved meaningless. He knocked it off and talking about, but you look so good in it. What an unexpected development. But even so, all techniques have their weaknesses. Just who are you? I'm Nabe's very own Takaba. Not to brag, but I made it to the first round in last year's P1 tournament. You mean that show that was notorious for having the worst acts? That P1? You just made the hit list of every comedian in Japan, bucko. Just a joke. I guess waiting for you to play the straight man and say I got last place and didn't want to be a bit too on the nose. This text is so small. As would be me replying with even an average Joe could get past I can't even talk. Even an average Joe could get past round one. You degenerate monkey. So you're from Nabe Nabe. You must have performed with Pony then. People tend to assume that there's actually a comedian I adore to him. That's what he said. From a cackling dog era, Japanese skit show that aired from 1999 to 2010. Wait, you're not vocabulary. To each their own, I suppose. Hitting it off one more. I thought we'd know. I thought we would, dude. I cannot read today. This guy really likes comedy. Hey, why are you doing this? Doing what? Forcing people to kill each other and trying to make everyone go swift and make some kind of fusion monster because it seems entertaining. Listen, this is the second time I'm having this conversation today, so can we just cut to the chase and call it an intellectual curiosity? So what you're saying is, if there were something even more entertaining, there'd be no need for this violence, right? Who could say, it's written all over your face, just try to make me laugh. What the? He put a mirror in his hand, what the hell? You left me no choice. I'll give you a one-liner. It's royalty free, use it as much as you like. This is none of your business. Biznet. This dude's silly, bro. I bet you came up with that in some cafe where the Wi-Fi is extremely slow, but your phone couldn't connect to it automatically. You totally got it. Well, yeah, I'm a professional, huh? But I didn't think that would translate too well to people watching at home. Take Haranashi-san. If you yank out my spine, I can't stand gag, for an example. It has a setup. If you yank out my spine and a punchline, I can't stand. But this is this is none of your business. Has no setup, only punchline. How could it possibly land? My joke being torn apart logically by someone who understands it. This is a real stab to the heart. You're far too self-involved. Doing comedy with you isn't fun at all. Please craft your set with your audience in mind. Quiet this show. He just sent him flying with an elbow to a gut. This chapter was weird. Like, I didn't expect for it to just be talking like this. That's so silly to me. I really felt at that time. The conditions for his technique activations revolve around his conviction and confidence in himself. Shut your hole. You're just an amateur posing as an expert. You've never been on a stage. I don't care if you don't think it's funny, as long as everyone else does. That's rich coming from you. Staring contest. If you laugh, you lose. Hey, he pulled the string on his head and exposed that brain. Hey, what is this chapter, bruh? I think he laughed though, cause Kenjaku stuck him. What the hell? That guy does not know how to have a staring contest. Is that amateur funnier than me? I mean, if you think about it, a fair-skinned Adonis like me doing monk cosplay, sporting long hair is kind of funny. And that scar on his forehead too. You think he's overdoing it, but I'm starting to feel like I'm just making him funnier. Two types of people make it in this business. Comics who are funny and comics who think they're funny. I'm fine. I'm funny. I am funny. I am. He looked up and seen Gojo laid out in the woods. Start hyperventilating. What's the matter? Laugh. Aren't you a comedian, aren't you? How could I? Doing comedy with you isn't fun at all. Even if we can't laugh at this stuff, why would the audience? Why am I a comedian again? A deep red violating the taboo. What will you do in the icy atmosphere, Takaba? Interesting. That was a pretty cool chapter. Now, uh, if you really here after just bearing with me trying to read through that, I really do appreciate you and apologize at the same time. But I like that chapter. Like that, like I said when I was reading it, it definitely did not go the route that I thought it was gonna go, but I still enjoyed it. I like how he literally broke down Takaba's technique with logic because he said, "Dude, you're not even funny for real." I mean, I didn't even think it would work like that, but I guess it would, and leave it to a dude who got 1,000+ years in this shit to figure that out as well. But man, nah, that picture. Let me go back to that because that picture of Gojo laid out in the woods is kind of crazy to me. I might make the thumbnail. It might be too crazy though. Anyway, if y'all still here, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all. Do all the things them YouTubers be telling y'all do. Like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Bell notifications, share to your peoples. Y'all have a good weekend. Y'all make sure y'all drinking water.